Hello everyone, today I'm going to walk you through how to process setting up a Google site. There's a lot to go over, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is you want to go to the Google Sites main page, hit create, and you're going to start off just by naming your site. And then prove that you're human, and then hit enter. Now the location is shown as already not available, so we could just change up our URL a little bit by adding a couple, maybe some numbers. That's not going to affect your SEO at all. It just it's going to specify your own personal URL. Let's hit done on that, and it's now creating our site. Here we can actually choose from some of those templates, but I like to start from a blank slate. It's a lot easier, and you can actually choose from certain blank slates in the back, so you can actually choose from multiple blank slates, which is pretty cool. So first thing right here, this is our title, and on default the title is actually a link, so this will actually take you, every time you click it, it will take it back to your home page. If you have multiple pages, like here's our sidebar navigation, if we have multiple pages in there, and if we click example site, each time it's going to refresh back to the home page. Here's our content area. This is where all of your content's going to go, your pictures, videos, all your words, everything like that. Search bar up here, we can toggle that on and off. That's a really cool feature. You can search for, if you have a lot of content on your page, you can actually have your the ability to search for certain pieces in there. Up here we have the edit page, add page, and the more options. The edit page is probably the most important when you're actually adding content. You can actually change the title of the page. You can then add your content in here, up here. This should look pretty familiar. This is a lot like the text and word editing bars you normally see on word processings. Up here we have some more commands. We can insert some stuff like YouTube videos, Google Plus stuff, Drive, basically all the stuff that Google normally offers. You can add that to your website. Over here we've got more formatting options. Table area, we can actually add tables to the site. Layout, we can actually change how this whole area, this is a block format first, we can actually change it to multiple layouts so we can actually do different things. And then help, if you ever get lost, you can actually go to some of the Google tutorials and skip whatever I'm saying. Save that. Add page, pretty quick and simple. You just put your page in there. You can actually change web page announcement, which is basically like a blog type setup, file cabinet where you can actually store multiple pieces, and lists, which is basically you put multiple items in a certain order. So let's just keep that as a web page and create that. So now we have example 2, that's my new web page, and I'm going to save that real quick and refresh it back to the home page. As you see, on default, example 2 automatically showed up here in my navigation tab. That's default for all Google sites. You can change this. You can actually put a horizontal navigation like so let's go back, so let's go to more options. That's actually part of the more options feature. So here's where you can do more of the setups for the site. Like you can actually change and copy. You can do more with your pages, like you're gonna preview your pages viewer. This is what people are actually going to see when they go onto your site. You can actually change your page settings. So like this page, it's a just basic web page, but I can change that in here. You can actually change this, make this a template site, which is pretty cool. And then site actions, you can have site changes all sent to your email. Like any change you make, it'll be sent to your email. Edit site layout and manage site, those are the two most important tools in here. You're going to be using these a lot if you use Google Sites. Edit site layout, now you can actually header, horizontal navigation, sidebar navigation, custom footer, and then your site width, which is really important. So header, you can actually take the header off, so that basically just deletes your title. You can put that back in anytime. Horizontal navigation, then I can toggle off the sidebar navigation. Now my navigation's up here, and then when I want to add that example site to the example page 2, I can just go in here, just click on the navigation section, add the page, hit OK, and voila, it shows up, and it's its own tag now. Site width. This is a lot trickier. It's definitely, you can do it three ways. You can go with the theme default, which is just the basic how Google sets up. It's like a little formula Google has about how wide your page should be, and it does vary by your computer size, so it's a cross between pixel and percentage. Or you can customize it. I like to customize it, and I like to hold my pages at 1,000 pixels. Ooh, that's a little actually. Let's actually do 1,200 pixels. That gives us a good room. And I like going pixels because no matter how much you zoom in and out, your content will remain exactly the same because it's not going to shrink or expand to cover the percentage of the screen. So if we go like percentage, let's go 80%, enter. So it got a little bit bigger, and it will stay 80% of the screen, which if you have content in there and you go to a narrower screen like you have at Sierra College, it's going to really condense. So let's save that again, close that out. And then manage site. So in the manage site, we can actually turn the site name off at the top, which that takes that link away, and it actually, unless you put your own custom header in there, it's not going to show anything. I'm going to take it off for now. You can put a message up to new visitors when they come to the site, which is actually a pretty cool new feature. You can put a site description. This is actually very important right here. This is majorly crawled by your spiders. When we went over SEO in the past, we talked about keywords. This is where your keywords are definitely going to get drawn from. Mature content, if you're going to plan on putting mature content up here, you can click this, so it actually will come up with a message to all users that are going to ask them if they're 18 or whatever age, legal age of adulthood is in other countries. It'll ask them that. Landing page, you can change this, so if you don't want them to land on the home page, you want them to land on another page, you can actually change it here so that people land on certain pages. This is how many megabytes of storage are on your site. That's like how many you can load that up with pictures. Basically, that's how much memory your site is currently holding. Delete the site. Hopefully you don't have to do that. You can configure your search option here, add your analytics, webmaster tools, all that good stuff, security, basically mobile site. This will make it so that when people are accessing your site mobilely, it'll adjust it. It's actually better if you just create a mobile site through Google Sites, which is a little bit different process. You're just going to narrow it down to like 200 pixels and basically create your site that way. I've done that in the past. It works pretty well. You got more options here. They're very in-depth. I'm not really going to go into them in this tutorial. Sharing your permission, that's just who can view and edit stuff on your site. Web address, you're going to use this if you want to put in your own URL. If you don't, your URL is going to be the sites.google.com/site/example site 1241. And then usually this is all gone when you don't see it, but that is your URL. If you want to get traditional www.examplesite.com URL, you have to buy it from GoDaddy, one of those, and you can actually link that to your website, which is pretty cool. Sorry, stay on page. Forgot, you have to save everything every time you leave a page on here. So let's go to our themes and colors. So this is what I mean by you can have multiple base themes, so you can actually change the theme in your background, even if you're using the blank slate. You can choose from multiple blank slate themes. So let's go back up and do the ski. That's easiest. And here's my little note I put on there. And people can click OK, got it, and that will delete. So here's where you can actually adjust some of the more features of the site. Entire page, you can really adjust how this thing's going to look. So remember how I took away the example site here? I took that away. I'm going to put in our own custom header. And I do this a lot of different ways. You can do this through the bar. You can do this on here. I like to do it on here as a background image. I'm going to pull that up in here real quick. Got it. And then you can just play with the imagery now and make sure it does what you want to. No repeat. Horizontal position in the center. Top. So now that we have that put in position, we can either fix it or stretch to cover. I'm not going to do any of that. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to save this. We're going to save this. Head back to the main page. And now let's look and see how it looks. So this is kind of covering up my banner. I don't really like that. I want to kind of bring this down a little bit so that when the viewer sees it. Pretty easy to do. We just go back in here, go to Edit Site Layout, click on the header. It's right now using theme default. I'm going to increase it by, say, 180 pixels. Let's see how that looks. Still covering it up a little bit. Let's go back and make it 190. That should do it. Let's see how it looks as a viewer. And there we go. First Google site page. Now I can change actually this to plain white just like this. So it's pretty nice. I'll go back in here to the manage site. And a lot of what I'm doing now, I'll do in other tutorials. This is more in-depth. You got to have an image editor to kind of do some of this stuff up here. I'm going to put no color background. Save. And